Recording video and the intro.
Okay.
Still gonna sound it. I like it.
Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the NFT Crypto Crew. Big one today, baby. Let's go. Guys, for me, give me those likes. Give us those subscriptions. We're bringing you interviews from the man himself, LUNAR Rivers. Come on, boys.
LUNAR.
Let's get him on the line.
This guy's gonna have me jump out of a window by the end of this call.
Let's get him on the line. He's so hype. Let's get it.
What's up? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good, fam. How you feeling?
Feeling great, man. Doing good. How are you, bro?
Yo, I'm good. I appreciate you coming on, man. I know you've been wanting to get on here. Thanks for coming on to chat. We're really pumped. And yeah, I guess we'll get started. This is our buddy LUNAR Rivers over at BVDCAT. I got your Twitter pulled up here, so just giving a little intro.
Yeah, LUNAR, you must have been like a DJ in your past life or something because your energy is just unmatched.
Someone was just saying I'm the DJ cat in the space. Like, bringing that energy constantly is a goal of mine, man, and letting people know we are not going to quiet down because you want the fucking volume lower. We out here, we're not going to be ignored, and that's the wave right now. So we just keep going with that, you know?
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Tyler just said this guy reminds me of DJ Khaled a little bit. He's the best hype man. Yes. So we wanted to maybe chat a little bit more about you, let the people get to know you maybe a little bit more, and then get into some of what you guys have been working on a little after that. So when did you first get into crypto? What got you in there, and how did that lead you into NFTs?
I appreciate that. A lot of people ask when I got into NFTs, and it's always the same thing, last year around September. But when I got into crypto was, and this is the main reason we have that honorary piece for Nipsey, is because back in 2018, 2019, there was a lot of that type of like crypto movement and like a lot of cryptocurrency talk coming from Nipsey, and like just aligning ourselves more with that decentralized network and how we could approach our financial literacy from that angle, with cryptocurrency and not just the US dollar. So I got into crypto back then, and I was basically just dibbling right into like, I want to say I had a MetaMask. I was just jumping into the space and seeing how it all worked, seeing like, those shit coins back then. There was SafeMoon at one point. There was all that bullshit that I didn't jump into per se, but I was more so just scoping the area out, and just seeing the ins and outs of it. I remember the last thing I ever remember was kind of like jumping onto my MetaMask and trying to finally buy something. And it was just such a difficult task that I was just like, yeah, I'm off this, and right around that time, which was last year, August, September, October area, I just remember myself leaning more towards like the Solana ecosystem. And I'll never forget, there was this ad on my timeline of these skeletons, and it said the Soul blockchain. Now, I was used to, just seeing into ETH a little bit and diving into that side. So once I seen Solana blockchain, right around October, I just dove headfirst into these NFTs. I kind of let go of like the crypto mindset from that angle of trying to find like a Bitcoin and stuff, and just jumping into this space because I'm kind of everywhere right now, Gig, but I'll try and break it down in a way that makes sense. Before all of this, I was an artist, and I was just expressing myself through many different mediums, whether it was a canvas, I made a short film on a really low budget, some crazy shit. I wrote the screenplay to it. I made fiction writing. I've done poetry. And I kind of just brought that energy onto the Solana blockchain. So once I jumped into that, right around late September into October, I was just diving in as an artist, and making sure that I knew what I was getting into if I ever wanted to be on the blockchain and paid correctly, because the main thing people were saying was like, this is a chance for artists to get truly paid and not be, fucked over by the middleman, all that kind of stuff. Plus, Nipsey had already been preaching that for so long, it was natural for me to think like that, and I kind of applied that coming into here. And a couple months went by. I got into the space. I worked as a community manager. I worked as a mod. I worked as a translator at one point because I speak fluent Spanish and English. And one of the teams that I was working for, they didn't really know English. They did, but they felt they couldn't, communicate with the community, right? So I jumped right in, and as you guys seen, I'm transparent, and I kind of just started from there, And in November and stuff, I was working for them and just making sure that whatever message they were bringing, I was letting the community know as clear as I could, up until they ended up rugging and shit, soft rugging. So I moved on from that, and then this is a long answer, and I'm sorry for that, but this is the best way that I could put it so people know Lunar Rivers didn't just fucking pop out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I've been putting in work. And so a couple months go by, I'm back into my bag of like just being an artist. I couldn't control anything in that community and them doing that, but I could control the actions I take, So I started working on myself again, and I started getting into the space even more. I got a follow back from Soul Big Brain and a couple other big accounts that I felt, just like I needed to hold myself to that standard. I got some big names following me, and I felt like if I put the right content out there, it could help me, push and be progressive in the ecosystem, exactly what I wanted. So I kind of started applying that. And then the opportunity came to work with some one-on-one artists. Now, this is where the gears shift a little. Do you know, by any chance, just so we could have a back and forth, do you know D-Gen Poet, or known as Niche, by any chance?
Yeah, I've definitely seen some of D-Gen Poet stuff on Twitter here and there.
For sure. He was the first person to ever give me an opportunity to even get close to a collaboration on the blockchain. He had this little hack series, and he was just having people, they got on Procreate, they did the art, and they made a poem with it, and I kind of did that, and I sent it to him, and we ended up doing a giveaway for it and stuff. And then fast forward maybe, I want to say no more than a month later, bro, Known as Niche had a Twin Flames collection come out. She was doing the art for a thing called Twin Flames, and it was like about, heartbreaks and couples breaking up, couples coming together. I don't truly remember the details, but I just remember being really interested in the concept she had for the Twin Flames, but she didn't have a writer. And at the time I was heavy with my poetry. So I approached her and I said, listen, I'm not very well known in the space. I'm not this big name artist 101, but I do have a passion for writing, and I could write some fiction for your Twin Flames collection, So Known as Niche gave me the opportunity, and she heard me out. She gave me 5 minutes to just read through the writing that I sent her, and obviously she fell in love with it. She ended up minting two of her Twin Flames collection with my poetry on them. So those were my two first official collaborations on the blockchain. And then from there, I dove into, right around there was like March, April time. That's when I started really getting confidence in my artistry, and I started just jumping into wherever I could, up until I met up with the Dead Cat D-Rug,
Yeah, I mean, dude, D-Gen Poet's like a pretty big name on the chain right now for that to be your first collab.
Yeah.
That's
it's not, and I just recently seen that he posted all his official collaborations, and I seen that I wasn't on there, so I don't want people to basically take it the wrong way and say that I'm sitting here collaborating with somebody I'm not. But on the blockchain, there is a D-Gen Poet and Lunar Rivers piece, because he had this whole wizard hat collection or something like that. I don't truly remember, but basically it was just like a simple collab like that, So I take that as my first official collab, and I pay big respect to somebody like D-Gen Poet for giving me that time, But of course, he has that collaboration paper out, and I'm not on there, so I don't take offense to it, but I just keep that close knit, I'm just like, that's my fucking guy through it all, He definitely gave me that opportunity. And someone out there won that giveaway. I don't know who it was, but I sent that hat to somebody, so it's out there.
Okay, so you have been dabbling around, trying to get some of your own stuff out there on the blockchain. Like you said, you're into the arts and the poetry. So you've been dabbling around already. And then
I was in the one-on-one art space. I don't know if you know
Gotcha.
Papa Mumu, but when I once I got the follow back from Soul Big Brain, I kind of just started taking a different approach to this and saying, I could be somebody that's just an asshole and shit post all day, or I can actually bring value to the space and help push this message forward that is the Solana ecosystem. I seen that big opportunity, and I was like, I'm not going to allow myself to just sit here and plop up. One of the biggest opportunities of a lifetime, for everyone that's involved here. I'm not going to sit here and just let it go to waste, because I wanted to be something bigger than this, and I already knew that my purpose would be bigger than this. So it was just a matter of time, and I just had to, stay consistent. I got a lot of no's, bro. I come up here and I speak for these first 10 minutes and tell you guys of the good, but there's a lot of fucking people that left me on red. There's a lot of people that said, no, I don't fuck with it, and I had to keep going through all of that, through all the no's, through all the doubt, through all the fear that people were trying to throw on me, like, yo, it's a hard job, don't do it. I just kept pushing through, and I didn't allow any of that to stop me. So, and God willing, I got the opportunities that I got, and I didn't hesitate. That was my main thing. A lot of people, they get an opportunity in front of them, and that small second of hesitation is all somebody needs to fucking eat your plate. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like seeing that opportunity come up, it was like Nipsey said, anti-hesitation. Don't ever put yourself in a position to wait around, or like, there's a couple ways I could go about it, but just from that angle, I didn't hesitate. I just leaped at it, and I felt like I'd rather be wrong and learn from that than sit on my hands and not make a decision and fuck up through there. So that's where I kind of was at with it for a long time.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome to know that you were really into that 101 scene, and that you had really been putting the work in even before you guys got the whole BVDCAT thing set up. You really like had a vision. It seems like you had a vision even prior to that to really establish.
Yeah, I never
yourself.
really speak on this. I genuinely don't speak on this because I don't like to put it out there and make it seem like people really faded and shit. But you, my guy, I don't really care. I'm chilling and shit, and I'm gonna just spit this piece. There's a one point in time where Frank from D Guys had posted something, and he said, he has like the whole alpha team, the alpha or whatever, and he basically posted and he said, my guys are fucking the truth, and if you feel like you have something special and my alpha team missed you, let me know, DM me, right? And there is proof, I sent Frank a DM before I even debugged BVDCAT, and I straight told him, I said, yo, if you could give me 5 minutes to hear me out and your whole alpha team could say no to my vision, I'll leave this whole space and I'll never speak on it again. Thank you to him. He never answered, and I was able to continue my path and meet up with who I did meet up with and debugged BVDCAT. But I messaged not only Frank, but many different people that same message, like, yo, just hear me out for 5 minutes. And if you fuck with this vision, we gonna push this forward, and if you don't, then I'll keep it moving, and I felt like letting people know always, at every time, that at any moment that I could, letting them know that we have something special going on, and you could either be a part of it or sit on the outside and watch us continue to grow, and that's exactly how it's been, and just proving that, executing it.
That's pretty dope. So you sound like you just had the drive. You're messaging people, you're messaging Frank, you're trying to like make the connections out in the space. Cause I was talking to Tyler, like just before we had you on about this, it's really about how much effort you want to put into it and who and who you can learn, who you can network with on the blockchain, and you can really make anything happen.
And specifically, this is it's pretty unique, his skill set, the poetry and the artistry. It's a very like interesting dynamic that he gets to add to these projects. So it's like you really have to be like think out of the box to be able to provide that much like value with that skill set, and it's just amazing to see it come to fruition.
Yeah, I feel like the 101 scene is almost more difficult to make ground on, especially it's getting more traction now, but you really got to be creative and come up with something that people want to invest in to really get into the 101
100%.
Yeah.
100%, man. That shit was not like by any means. It was the easiest shit to come and fucking mint out a collection of 10K generative art.
Exactly.
The way we did it is special, but it was way harder for me to try and get into the 101 scene. And that's what I was speaking on earlier with the guy Papa Mumu, who works closely with Soul Big Brain. I got on an artist advisor call with this guy before I debugged BVDCAT, before anything. That's how immersed into the 101 scene I wanted to be, and like show them that I'm a true artist at heart and just want to express myself on the blockchain. I got on a call with Papa Mumu and got plenty of advice from this guy, on how I can approach my artistry, how I can go about making connections, like all these types of different, angles that I haven't heard before, So Papa Mumu was very, very, influential in how I started this, because he gave me 5 minutes, and that's what I always tell people, just give me 5 minutes, hear me out, make sure that it's something that you at least give it a try before you just, push it to the side, because I know I have something special and other people see it now. So it's just a matter of, continuing that exposure. So Papa Mumu, when I wanted to be that true one-on-one artist at that time back then, he gave me 5 minutes on that artist advisor call and just put me onto game like, yo, this shit is not going to be easy. But if you're determined, you're really going to see something special come to life. And that's what I did. I continued on that, from a different angle, obviously with Bad Cat, but I just continued with that behavior, that I had to stay consistent even when no one was watching,
Yeah, exactly. So you were grinding, making connections, getting your stuff out on the 101 scene. You're putting in work there. So how long was it from then until you got into dead sets? What's the time frame?
It couldn't have been more than it was not more than 2 months. It wasn't even more than a month and a half, I want to say, because basically once I got the collaboration with Known as Niche and I seen that the DJ Poet collection got on the blockchain perfectly and people were liking the Lunar Rivers personality, like the persona I put out there with just my vibes and shit on the timeline, and plus the value that I was bringing, through these collabs. At least that's how I seen it. I felt like speak on this, but I'm gonna tell you that right after that Known as Niche collaboration, I started my own collection, and the angle that I had was a comic book, and it's some out there shit, gig. I don't even want to get into it because I'm on this subject, but it was a whole comic book about pencils and pens, and it was some shit that like you had to be fucking high to even understand. Like it was out there. It was a really out there concept, but it was about pencils and pens, and one of the pencils had his eraser head filled up, and hit, and that was the honorary piece for Big Brain, so Big Brain, because he followed me and stuff. Like an entire concept. I had it all planned out and stuff, and I started working on that for about a month and a half, and right around April 20th, Dead Cats got on my timeline, and the fucking trajectory of my life changed after that.
Yeah. So you saw Dead Sets, you saw Dead Cats, and I'm assuming you obviously and bought some of them or minted some.
Yeah, I could tell you that story real quick. So how it happened was Dead Cats was retweeted on my timeline or promoted on my timeline. DJ Mitch go crazy sometimes.
Yeah, 100%.
And I seen it, and it was D God's art, and it was Cats on Crack art. Now at that time, I think I made a public statement either on my Twitter or on Spaces, and I'm like, listen, Cats on Crack is a horrible brand image, like Cats on Crack. It doesn't seem like it'll ever have mass adoption. And so when I seen Dead Cats, it had D God's art, but with the Cats on Crack base, I said, perfect, this can go viral. This can be something that takes off. And so I bought two of them, like any normal person would. It's a DJ man with great art like D Gods and Cats on Crack. So without that price tag, you know what I'm saying, of 100 plus sold at the time. So it was a no-brainer for me. I spent like 0.5 for two of them, 0.6 for two of them. And right after I bought them, I jumped into the Discord link that they had on their Twitter. That shit was dead. There was no lore written. It said art and lore driven, and there was no lore driven. It was no lore written. So I jumped into the Discord and I pinged the Pablo guy, and I'm like, yo, listen, or Chapo guy, whatever his name was. I pinged him and I said, listen, I'm a fiction writer. I can help you write the story to this. I have a vision for it. Just seeing it within 5 minutes, I know I can make some shit up that will be, that'll jump. And he caught an interest to that message that I sent in the chat, and he added me and he gave me a call. Within a few hours, he's like, yo, listen, you seem like you know this space a little bit, and what do you think I should do with it? And I'm like, listen, dude, I'm not an advisor. I'm not coming here trying to claim something I'm not. I don't have a degree for this shit. I'm just somebody that's seen a hole that needed to be filled, and I want to bring value as a holder. And he just really fucked with the mindset that I was bringing to him, and he was like, listen, I don't care if you don't have no experience in it. You seem really well spoken. Can you be my advisor? I need help with this. And I'm like, listen, dude, I don't want a payment out of this. I just need a couple things to be fixed on this for this project to run efficiently. You know what I'm saying? So he took my advice, and I don't know if you were in Dead Cats early on, but when they minted, Dead Cats was 10% royalties. And so what I told him was, I'm in the community and I know what the people want. They don't want you to write lore for this shit. They want you to lower royalties. So I got him to lower the royalties to 6.9. So that's where the 6.9 came from for Dead Catch. And so once I jumped on board and did those few things within a few, maybe 3 or 4 hours, the community caught wind of this shit, and that's when Dead Catch kind of took off a little. And then within 24 hours, this guy gives me a call like, listen, dude, I'm scared. People are threatening me for my life. This is stolen art. They don't want to give me the benefit of the doubt. Some bullshit, he said. And I said, listen, dude, I've been rugged before. I know what you're doing. You're just looking for the easy way out. And I know that you're gonna rug as soon as you get off this call. So fuck you and fuck this project for even doing this, and like he seemed like a nice person. So like he flipped the subject on me like, oh well, you're gonna rug this project. And like all this bullshit, gig. I don't want to go too much into it, but he basically, to make a long story short, he basically took all of the mint funds and I got him to give me the Update Authority wallet. So I was able to get access to like the royalties and what was left of it.
So he kind of just dipped.
He got that to me and got me in contact with Fellowship DAO, which is where they where they minted through, and Fellowship DAO helped me, push Dead Catch forward after that.
Okay. Yeah. So you just brute forced your way in there.
Yeah,
right?
you bulldozed.
Yo, you gotta
see
it like this. And I'm paraphrasing Tupac right now, but he basically was saying like, you outside of the door and you see them inside eating all good and shit and you're starving. Like at some point you're gonna stop knocking on the door and you're just gonna knock that shit down and jump right in there and start eating too.
It sounds like it sounds like you busted it down.
I wasn't really being heard, like I wasn't really being acknowledged and shit. And I'm like, fuck it, just knock the door down and make your presence known. Let them know they're not gonna ignore you because they want to look the other way. They want to turn the cheek. So that's how I felt, and we came with that energy, and people just love that shit.
That's funny because that's kind of similar to what the Geckos community did when they were not happy with what was going on with the team. They kind of just busted it down and took over. So all right, so you got your foot in the door there. You got access to some of the wallet and everything, and then do you decide to redo everything with it? How did the BVDCATs come into play? Was this kind of just inspiration to do your entire own thing?
All right. So in the beginning, it was not about BVDCAT. It wasn't about switching the project at all. In the beginning, we were going for the trade swapping concept because somebody on the team, like we had a big team in the beginning, and we were all kind of just fucking brainstorming, throwing ideas into a bucket, seeing what sticks. And we kind of thought of the idea. I remember when I first got on, and anybody that was on these voice calls and on these Twitter spaces, when I first derugged, can tell you, like, I wanted to do music NFTs. I wanted to do something where you could swap your background on and off, and the background that you switch on and off is a music NFT. So we already had this, like, trait swapping concept idea that we wanted to apply. And then we kind of started saying, well, maybe we could switch some of the traits on the Dead Catch so we could take the derivative tag off. And then, as like time went on, a couple of days, maybe a week, Magic Eden was like, the whole rumor went around that they're threatening to take derivatives off. And so we brought this to the team and we're like, listen, even if we do this trait swapping concept, we're not going to get away from the fact that this is stolen IP, that this isn't our IP, right? So once we kind of approached that angle, it was a no-brainer, and everybody on the team just got all hands on deck to basically switch, and pivot into what would be BVDCAT, But it wasn't like we just thought of it all in one shot and fucking boom, slapped it on the table. Mm-hmm. We basically got out a structure, like the bones of the concept, and we brought it to the community, and we said, listen, these are our two options. We could run with BVDCAT and possibly be shut down in 6 months because of IP rights, mm-hmm. or we could pivot, change the concept, and push forward with a project of our own look, our own ideas, and our own roadmap, and really push this forward as high as we could go, So it was a no-brainer for the community, and they jumped on board. We were getting feedback from them. Spoonicus, which I didn't speak too much on Spoonicus, but he was basically the fundamental piece to all of this because I was able to get on a call with Spoonicus, and he got everybody to help me, like mods, community managers, branding experts who were basically helping us push the Bad Cats look, to where it needs to be. So he basically got those types of people on board, and we were able to get Bad Cat, the brand, like the main concept that's going to start it all off. They helped us push that.
Okay, I see. Yeah, that's kind of what I gathered. Because I wasn't in the Dead Cats. I just got mentioned. A buddy mentioned Bad Cat to me like right around mint time, and I didn't know the entire background, but just listening on Spaces and being in the Discord and hearing everything, that's kind of what I gathered from it. And I think it was a really good move, kind of using the, like you said, the bones of the ideas you had, but filling it with a new project, a new product, so you don't have to worry about possibly being shut down at some point, because of the IP stuff. And I love the Bad Cat art and the community and like the whole story, but like I'm so glad you guys went ahead and started something brand new with this. I think that was a really smart decision.
Yeah, for sure. It just gives us a lot of room to grow and expand where we wanted to, Like there was a lot of times where we would think like, well, what if we wanted to make this into a 3D character, right? And technically a 3D character would just be a fucking Cats on Crack. So certain things just didn't logically make sense if we wanted to play this out long term. And so it was just like, yo, listen, we got to bring this to the community and make sure that they're behind us above all. And once we got the okay from them, it was like, yeah, now we could fucking flesh out this vision and really expand on it how we want and just give them a platform to empower the holders that are here,
Yeah, and I think you guys are doing a great job with that right now. It's really nice. It's great to hear your background, because like I've always loved what you and Hellboy and the team have been doing, but it's great to hear your background and like how passionate you've been and how you've grinded your way through the 101 space, like making these connections and building this knowledge from the ground up to really put your vision out there. And it's really great to hear that and have those minds here at Bad Cat with us. I think it's going to be really cool for some of the community here. This too, I was trying to get a little bit of a different style of an interview and get a little more different information out there than we normally get with the Bad Cat stuff. Before we start wrapping it up, though, I mean, is there anything you want to leave us with? Is there any alpha? Is there anything we should be looking out for? Is there whatever you want to leave the community off with? It's all you.
Yeah, for sure. So we recently just put out like that Spaces that was like, pivotal for how people perceived us and how we were going about everything from now on. Mm-hmm. And it was basically just like, quick overview of it was basically saying like, there's a lot of projects that come out here and they mint out and they tell you we're going to do this, this, and this. And I felt like I'm not knocking any other project. I'm just simply bringing our project up. When I say this, and we delivered and we're executing everything that we put on the roadmap and sent out to you guys from the beginning and a little bit more, with the social staking and stuff in the airdrop. So for me, the biggest thing I could leave you guys with is like this next phase, this next chapter, we're just shifting gears a little bit and we're going to make it a little bit more mysterious, if you will, to build hype up, to build the way that we want to do it and in a way that you guys are still enjoying it and getting the content correctly. Where we were doing it before and being overly transparent, we had people entitled and feeling like we had to drop stuff constantly to keep the floor price up. And that's not how this is going to be sustainable. So the best piece I could give you is like, we're working, but we're not working in a way that we're just going to pump stuff out every week for people to constantly have something to feed off. There's a way that we're going about it now. And since we gained that trust from our own community and that credibility from the entire system, we feel like we can approach it how we want now and be a little bit more mysterious and leave room, for guessing and leave you guys with something where it's like, what the fuck is going on, That's one piece. The next piece I'll give you is we are going to San Francisco, NFT San Francisco within a couple of days, me and Hellboy, and we're definitely going to be opening ourselves to a lot of different sectors in the space. You know, there's going to be VCs there. There's going to be founders. There's going to be, I know Netflix is going to be there. There's going to be film directors. There's going to be different things that we're just going to look for the best way to pitch this movement of BVDCAT, you know, because we could take it many directions. And it's kind of why we told you guys in the beginning that we left it a little bit vague and a little bit more open, you know, because now we could dive into the film industry if we wanted and go pitch them something for a TV show if we wanted to with our BVDCAT. We can also go to the VCs and open up an opportunity to get proper funding. Like, there's many directions that this can go now, and I'm just glad that we left BVDCAT a little bit open and versatile the way we have for this to work, you know, on the angles that we wanted to, you know. So there's going to be artists there that we can onboard. You know, we're working with one-on-one artists actively. And, yeah, thank you guys for taking time to even hear me out. Sometimes I'll get speaking for an hour or two, and it's like,
all good. All good, all good.
Hearing me out and asking great questions above all. Like I said, no one really asked about the beginning of Lunar Rivers. They just asked when I got into NFTs, and this didn't start at NFTs. I didn't start at NFTs. For me, this has been a long time in the works, you know. So thank you guys for that. And the last piece I'll say though is there's two one-on-one artists that we got on lock right now. But there's one that, you know, that is coming soon. And that's really all I can say. You know, I know you guys handled the moon mission fucking greatly, and that was a one-on-one artist. So I can't wait for you guys to see this new art and another one-on-one artist that we're helping, you know, expose into our hub that is BVDCAT. You know, that's the best thing about this shit is like onboarding one-on-one artists, onboarding companies, onboarding brands. Like we give people that platform, and it's just beautiful to see the proof of concept and see that, you know, we're making that work. It's not just something we fucking grabbed out of our ass and told you guys we do. We're actually executing that. So that's the best piece right now.
Okay. All right. Well, we are all excited for that. We think you guys have proven yourselves thus far, and we have total confidence and faith in you. And you know what? I'm going to be helping Bad Capital run it up too, baby. We are so pumped for everything that's coming. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for Lunar. Thank you again for coming on and letting it all out for us. We really appreciate that. We're going to have this up on Twitter here in just a moment, so be sure to keep your eyes peeled for that. Thanks again, man. Guys, be sure to subscribe. Hit the like. Let's get this out there. Let's get BVDCAT out there, baby. We're not stopping. We bad. We got the vision.
We so fucking bad, baby. Let's fucking get it. I appreciate you guys. And if you stuck around to listen till now, you got some good information on what it is to be the baddest motherfucker on this blockchain.
Baddest on the blockchain, baby. Let's get it.
That's right. We bullish.
All right, man. Talk to you soon, bro.
All right, bro. Peace.
All right. Have a good one.
All right.
I mean,
bullish. He's bullish.
How do you not want to scoop up cats after that?
Guys, we love it. Thanks for watching. Bullish.